Racing League, and if you're still alive and awake, we are going to get the race underway pretty soon. Our commentator from the last lobby, Racing Gupta, had to leave for other commitments, but I am joined here by VFix, who will take us through the rest of the race or the starting of the race. It is not the rest of the race. VFix, how are you doing and how exhausted are you?
It mentally dead, but that's me on most days anyway. But yeah, let's just go and get on with this. But it is still a title decider at play here. Let's not forget that. All of this Cody's incompetence, we still have to decide a champion here, hopefully.
Absolutely. I think 37 points is the difference between Shah in the Alpine, who starts on pole tonight, and SSN or Saurabh Nayak, who is starting P4 but on the medium tires. So maybe a strategy advantage. We will wait and see. And yeah, there you go. Tires for everyone. You can see Saurabh and Gagan Singh are on the mediums because that's where they put their qualifying lap on. But it goes to see two Alpines on pole. I think has there been a front row lockout in this season so far? I'm not sure. Maybe Ferrari.
I assume that Mercedes have done it multiple times, and I think so have McLaren as well. Definitely McLaren might have once or twice.
All right, so maybe so. McLaren
the
might have done
so
it.
Topsy-turvy from the race in D2. You hardly remember what happened in qualifying most days.
Absolutely. So. Right, so what do you think this race will bring, as Anton Hypers and Swag Boy are the only people on the hard tires? But VFix, what are your expectations or predictions from this race, which is a potential title decider, and overtaking, unlike real life, is possible on this layout as well?
I mean, the two protagonists, I'm expecting them to show something special here. But just aside from those two, there are a few people who are out of position here in Polyester, Swagboy and Easy Level Bot. All 16th, 17th and 18th through either not being able to join the last lobby or getting or some form of bad luck or disqualifications in the previous qualifying session. So I'm excited to see how far and fast they can walk up this field. So they should provide most of their overtaking action for this race.
Absolutely, and it is crucial. I think Manan, this could well be his best qualifying of the season, P2.
I think the instruction is pretty clear for Manan. He needs to defend like an absolute lion.
Absolute lion, you're right. And he has showed up tonight at last, and we could see potential all season long.
Some would say that because of Manan having that good qualifying, the game has just decided to self-destruct because it just doesn't know.
It doesn't know how to process this.
Yes, it doesn't. It didn't count for this possibility. This is even rarer than a future in which the Avengers win. Like, this is how rare it is.
Alright, so in the third sector, we can see two cars already on the track or already on the grid slots. That's Gagan and Tanay, who I'm assuming had some contact and have been sent to the grid without warming up their tires. I'm not sure if that really affects their tire temperatures for the race, but let's see.
This is one of the few tracks where it might be a bit advantageous because the track suffers from tire overheating. So
yeah,
you heard me say it multiple times, but tire overheating is
yes, I did in the pre-race lobby. But yeah, the drivers, it was a good formation lap. Apart from that, the drivers were bunched up, so no huge gaps forming. And now you can see the two Alpines setting their sights on a short run down to turn 1, but the rest of the grid is setting up behind them, and we should be seeing 5 lights on the grid pretty soon.
It's comfortable here, and here we go. 5 red lights should be on now.
We go 5 lights on the grid. Lights out, and away we go. It's a good start from Shah, and an even better one from the Ferrari behind. But Manan and Shah both lead into turn 1, and let's see. SSN is losing a place
lost a place to the soft tire runners. As I think he would have accounted for that, considering that those cars. But there's a spin!
This is the spin! Abhi has retired already, and it's just a virtual safety car.
Was there contact as vintage player just ran?
It's a full course safety car now. It's a full course safety car.
Alfa Romeo with no front wing and vintage player knocking over all of the braking boards for some reason. Um, that is definitely interesting, but for Shah, perfect shot. Couldn't
Yeah,
have asked for
perfect
anything
start
better.
for
He doesn't
Shah,
even
and
challenge to
Shaurya
turn one.
has, yeah, Alfa Romeo. I think that's Ziak without a front wing, and yeah, it was a perfect start for both the Alpine drivers. They're running P1 and P2, which were the qualifying positions, but now they have a very fast driver in Shaurya behind, and Sid Venkatesh is no slouch either. So this should be interesting for the podium positions and maybe even the race win. SSN has his work cut out, but he is on theoretically the better or the faster strategy, so should be fun. But these safety car laps might help the soft tire runners, don't you think,
Yeah,
V6?
I just think SSN just needs to do good lap times, even if he necessarily isn't overtaking anyone in these stints. So that when later on he can just side through the field really, and he only needs to finish top five. Remember, even if Shah wins, he just needs to finish top five, and he is fifth right now.
Yeah, he is fifth right now and ahead of Tanay Singh and Ace, who are also soft tire runners, but everyone else, lot of medium tire runners. Let's see if anyone pits. I can see Swag Boy and Kush Kambani at the
I
back
see
of the
Spike Boy
field.
and Polyester not having front wings, so.
Right, so Bullester in the Alpha. Is
Oh
it the
no,
Alfa
Spike Boy does
Romeo?
have a front. No, wait, what? That's
Yeah,
weird. I just see his front wing and then it disappears.
yeah, there's no front wing for me. He's having difficulty keeping on the track, and there he comes into the pits for a pit change. Suraj is in the pits as well, so is Ace. And Anton Hypers, despite starting on the hards, will have to pit. Swag Boy in the pits as well, and so is Kush Kambani. So, oh, Anton Hypers retired already.
I think he
So,
had to be somewhere, so
yeah, I think
that's
probably
good
that's
thing for
why.
him. Good sportsmanship there from him, not just redoing it in the pits. Perfect time as well to just do it in the pits.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the first round of pit stops, but unwanted pit stops out of the way, and I can see Kush Company out on hards. Swag Boy is out on mediums, so he will have to do another stop. And interesting to see what role does he play in the title fight, because he might be a pit stop down now once we go racing, and Shah after pitting might battle him. You never know, considering the gaps which are there.
I think that I don't never mean to say someone's race is run, but I think for the betterment of the team. But then again, the McLarens don't really like Shah can win the race, and SSN is still fifth, so I don't really think he would ask Strike Boy to do much. Because it wouldn't really affect anything right now as it is for SSN, but who knows, things can change, it's racing.
Yeah, absolutely. And the pack is pretty spread out from P10 to P11. So I think we might see at least one more lap under the safety car, because they're already in the third sector right now. And probably on lap 4 is when we go racing again. So VFix, just take us
Yeah,
through this lap while we have this opportunity. I'm not sure if you went on board for someone, or with someone rather, through a full lap. So let's take us through the various sectors and the difficult corners through this track, which is
I
having a
mean,
layout change from this year. But yeah,
I
what
mean,
is about
I
the
did
old
go through
layout?
a lap in qualifying with the King of Abu Dhabi, San 7B. But yeah, it is a bit different in the race. Some corners that were half throttle are now just braking, and some of the full throttle zones are now. As we watch 7-7, we go through the corner named after him, unofficially, official.
Yeah, I think we should make it official. We should submit some kind of petition to the FIA with the footage, of course, to
Yes.
make it official. But yeah, I can see the pack bunching up now, and we should be
I
under.
think Shah is definitely not going to be that worried right now because he does have his teammate for backup, and the fact is, I think Shaurya has pretty good race pace.
Yeah,
So I think Manan will have to now start going into unironically going into the defending role.
yeah, he has his work cut out, Manan, because he has Shaurya behind him. And if drivers are trying a one stop, this helps all of them right now, including the
It's
medium and the soft
it is a
runners.
bit disadvantageous to those medium tire runners like SSN because now these guys are on fresh soft starting the race. Lobby restarts are always disadvantageous to anybody who picked alternate start in qualifying.
Oh, absolutely. I definitely agree with that. but I think it will be just that slightly easier. As I can see, Shah a little bit disjointed from the rest of the pack. He's closely following the safety car, but Manan in P2 is 2.5 seconds behind. He will have to close up, which he does, and the pack has bunched up now. So I think once we enter sector 3 is when we might see the message of safety car coming in this lap.
Here we go. Early. Quite early, because we just crossed, the leader just crossed into the last sector.
I think this is better than what happened in Japan, where it came at the casino. Is it the casino triangle? I'm not sure which triangle it is, the last chicane. But it's some triangle.
Track in the world has a corner named the Casino Triangle, but now I want it corner to be named the Casino Triangle.
It's some triangle, I know. I don't know why it's called a triangle because it's a chicane, but either way, I think I remember Japan for sure. In D1, the message came in very late.
But then again, Malav, if you look at it, the messiest safety car restart ever has been one where it was called in the second sector. So it necessarily doesn't dictate how clean it's going to be. It just gives us more reason to place blame on the leader if something happens.
Yeah, I'm sure, but Shah has his wits about him and he has given the safety car plenty of time. It will be important to see. I think he has gone.
I think it is in.
Almost, yeah. The safety car is in, but he's still not gone, Shah. Let's go on board with Sid Venkatesh.
Anyway, so here we go. Here he goes.
And now he goes, and Shaurya is on the back of Manan. But it looks a clean restart for now. No position changes so far.
And to get that crucial first phase in, because in Abu Dhabi now this is the more important thing. No DRS, thankfully for him. Otherwise he would have gotten swallowed up on the straight.
He would watching SSN right now under a bit of a pressure from Gagan Singh behind as he tries to overtake Sid Venkatesh, who is
how much risk does SSN want to take? This isn't. We tell drivers not to think about the championship most times, but you can't not think about the championship now.
Yeah, easier said than done. As
SSN overtaken by two people in one straight.
Yeah, SSN's teammate, meanwhile, Swagboy, has overtaken Kush Gambani, who has lost one more place to Bullista behind.
And of the inside of Swagboy on the harder compound. Ooh, that was a bit too close there. That's fun.
Right, battle for the lead. Shah still leading. Manan is keeping Shaurya behind.
Given how close Shaurya has been able to stick with Manan, I think he does have the superior race pace. But how many laps can he keep Shaurya behind? Of course, constructors are still a thing here because there's 13 points separating three teams.
Yeah, so very crucial this race for constructors. We might not see the constructors decided tonight, but it is very close at the top as Shaurya cuts the Suraj corner, and it is possible he might have got a warning for that, but look at him, he's so close. Shah sets the fastest lap of the race.
So you want to DRS this lap, and that's the annoying thing about this track. Someone has a bad exit ahead of you, and then you don't get DRS on that lap, and then when you do get good exits, they have DRS. You have DRS, but then they get absolute god exits. That's what you always feel like as a driver.
Absolutely, but you know what, considering Shaurya's exits out of the slow corners, he might not need DRS. Shah has completely bolted. Manan might be able to keep Shaurya behind for maybe this straight, but on the second back straight, Shaurya will be close. Let's see what he does. The Ferrari is slotted in behind and he is far behind. Not this time around. Let's see what happens on the next straight.
One thing I'll say is that there's already a noticeable gap between 6th and 7th. So if Shah, he needs SSN to finish lower than 5th. Is he going? If he has this much of a pace advantage, when is he going to start pulling the games, the mind games? Because it wouldn't make any sense for him not to do it. He's going to lose the championship regardless. The way things are right now.
Yeah, SSN needs 6th or higher, is it? 6th or lower, is it, to win?
Yes, for this championship to go until the next race.
Yeah, so that's the objective for Shah. Right now he can control his own race. Others' races is not entirely in his hand, but his teammate is under extreme pressure once again from the Ferrari of Shaurya.
I think
And
Shah just will be telling Manan to keep his car here. Do not get involved into any incidents because if he gets involved into any incidents, sure that's Shah's rear gunner getting taken out. But then that's also one less car to take points away.
for SSN, absolutely. And SSN meanwhile is putting pressure on Sid Venkatesh. Sid Venkatesh on the theoretically faster Dryas, so he's been able to keep him behind for now. Look at how close Shaurya is. And since DRS has been enabled on this lap, Manan will not have DRS from his teammate. We could see a move for P2. There's a yellow flag. I think that's easy level bot losing it in the first sector. But here we go for a possible overtake. Shaurya is not really closing in, at least not enough
Or
to
is
make
he
a
playing
move.
tactical? Is he playing tactical?
Yeah, maybe
Because
he
there's
is.
another one. Oh my! What's happened there?
There you go.
Shaurya has
Gets
decent
a
numbers.
reasonably good exit, and this time around using all the DRS, Manan is doing everything he can to prevent, but Shaurya is going to make his way
That
through.
is
There you
very
go.
tactical from Shaurya because he knew that if he got him there, then Manan would just get him back.
Yeah, just get him back, and now in the third sector he can pull up a gap to Manan and also at the same time get close to Shah. Further
That was
battles
very good.
behind.
On my
Swag-
screen, it looked a bit calamitous because he did desync a bit on my screen, so it looked like they were inside each other. So I got a bit worried there. That cutscene from Breaking Point, spoilers for the last chapter of Breaking Point, was a reality, but no.
Well, thank you for spoiling it, V6. I have not played that chapter yet, but anyways, I think if I've not played it yet, I might not play it ever. SSN on Sid Venkatesh. Now Manan is 8 tenths ahead of Sid, so Sid will get DRS
I
as he
think it's
goes.
a DRS train now, right now.
Yeah, it will be a
Because
DRS
no one
straight.
is.
And
And look
Shaurya
at how
is.
quick Shaurya is. He's cut
Yes.
Shah by 3 tenths.
Yeah,
despite
3
making
tenths in
overtake.
just one sector. He might just start getting DRS on the second back straight,
Remember,
if not the
Shaurya
first.
didn't do his last run in qualifying, so we never saw what his actual pace was. He had crashed, which that was his mistake, but he might just the quali pace, third place, might have been a bit deceptive because he already got DRS of Shah. He's closer to Shah than Manan is to Shaurya, which is the real big thing here.
Yeah, absolutely. Shaurya has dropped Manan, so Manan will not have DRS, but let's see
Look
what
at those
he
exits that
does.
Shaurya gets.
Yeah, and he is deploying battery. He has DRS. Is he got enough of a straight line advantage here using
How
his
does Shah
battery?
do it here? No,
Yeah.
just about it. But look at this exit speed from Shaurya. If you compare that, I feel like even with the dirty air, he can generate so much more grip out of the corners.
Yeah, it is really impressive driving in traffic or in dirty air from Shaurya, and that's allowing him to
SSN
challenge
is now
for the
just doing a
lead.
wise thing. He's just hanging back right now and just letting.
Yeah, Swagboy and Bullista
Venkatesh.
both have left the session. They're running P13 and P14, and I didn't know disconnections were infectious, but well, there you go. Both of them
We
leaving
have
the
the
session.
pit.
Oh,
Oh,
Shaurya
Shaurya
pits.
pits.
Yeah, Shaurya pits. That's early.
Oh, now what
Is
Shah going
that-
to do here? Because he has been jumped. The minute Shaurya went into the pits, he's been jumped.
Yeah, he's been jumped, but
Done.
is this going to be a two-stop for Shaurya? Because
What tires does he go on? And does he come out in clear air as well?
He goes on
He's
the mediums.
medium.
20 laps
they
on
can
mediums?
Do 20 laps. Oh, that would be cutting a bit close, but you can do 20 laps on mediums, especially if there's safety cars. Shah now, very.
I think Shah might just... He knows he has lost the position to Shaurya already. But here goes Sid Venkatesh now. He has a bit of a battery left. Is he going to go for a move on Manan? I don't think he will on this straight. Just like Shaurya might just wait until one more straight or the next straight before he makes that move. But Manan is being hunted right now and it's not looking good in terms of position. Here goes Sid Venkatesh. Does not use a lot of battery. He doesn't need to. But SSN all the while is also following them. Can he also make an
Light is
opportunistic
blinking,
move?
You can see it from this view.
Yeah, and there you go. SSN is
SSN
trying a move.
No.
I think
just
that
not
was
enough.
smart of him to back out, but he's lost a lot of time as my intervals
There's
suddenly
no way
disappeared.
anyone can overtake in the third sector. So
Yeah,
nothing
SSN,
gonna really lose from that. If I was Alpine right now, I'd pull Manan into the pits because he's just giving DRS to the car.
yeah, pulling other drivers along as Manan goes, but I think SSN will still have another bite at it. Those soft tires of Manan will be pretty much second hand by now, so I think this is the time where probably the medium runners will actually feel a proper pace advantage over the red
I
mark
think the
soft tire
mediums
runners.
are definitely faster here. There's no within 5 or 6 laps the medium. Even if it was a fresh softs, then I assume that they would have pit. If it wasn't fresh softs, I assume they would have pit right now, but they're not because get that extra 10% ish. I would pull Manan in because all he's doing right now is really decreasing the gap to Shah.
There you
Yes,
go. You won't need to do that much longer
Shaurya now
because
behind Sweat Boy, so how quickly can Shaurya work his
yeah, it should be pretty
up
soon.
to the
Manan's light is blinking and SSN is
No
clean through,
problem,
so
man.
that is the
I think
championship
now,
leader.
do they have? Can they double stack?
Oh, Kush Kaman retired. That could be a safety car. That's in sector 1. And there you go, safety
And it
car.
is.
Godsend for
Ooh,
the
Shaurya!
Alpines.
I feel so bad for the Banias. But given how much pace he's had, like, I think he can go till the end on these mediums
Yeah,
anyway.
now he might
Let's see how
just
many
think
people can.
about it. But this has probably helped the soft runners. I think the Alpines might double stack
I think
here.
it has been a godsend for
Oh,
Manan
Swag
because
Boy has a
ooh,
drive through for
he never
speeding.
won that. I think it's been a godsend for Manan because at least Shah, you could see he was still increasing the gap. Manan's styles were just gone because he was fighting, whereas Shah was a clear air.
Yeah, Manan Stars.
Now they can definitely double stack and Manan wouldn't lose
Yeah,
that
they
many
kind of
positions.
have to. They can't give away a free pit stop. So Manan will probably lose more time if he stays out. Let's
Oh,
see where
even
he's
SSN
before.
is in. Oh,
Okay, that's interesting. Is he going on hards now because he doesn't want to make a pit stop under the safety car, outside of the safety car maybe? As Gagan Singh stays out on his mediums, SSN is in. This is interesting. What tires? It's hard. It's
I.
softs.
That
Wow.
has you have certainly piqued my curiosity.
So he's on a two stop. He can
And
take two
Gagan,
softs to the
let's
end.
just for all the fans, it's Gagan first,
Yeah,
Suraj
it's
second, Teves
Williams
third,
1-2 right now.
Teves Cal third, Ace fourth. So Shah comes out in fifth, and look at that Shaurya still almost overtaken him. That's how well he was driving.
Oh my
Was Shaurya?
god.
Then through a safety car, he almost undercut somebody in 2 laps.
Wow, that is some pace by the Ferrari driver. And
Oh,
well,
that
Gagan,
is.
Suraj, and Teves in P1, 2, and 3. Should we call the red flag we fix? I think that calls.
I think this is the time somebody DDoS attack this stream. I'm in the lobby. Half points will be applicable from this point anyway. And it all matters about positioning. It doesn't matter about points.
Right. So, people who have pitted are from P5 to P8. An easy level bot pitted earlier. Manan has also pitted, so he has in fact lost a position to easy level bot, and that is not what he would have wanted. He would have wanted himself to be directly behind SSN, who is on the faster tire, so maybe not that much of a loss.
I think SSN right now is playing this very smart because he can be on softs. All he has to do is finish 7th if Shah's not going to win. And the way Shaurya is going, I think he's putting that faith in Shaurya to overtake Shah.
Absolutely, he must have seen Shaurya's pace, even though he was behind him. But yeah, that's
I think Shah must be in that helmet right now, coming up with all the reasons to send Shaurya to D1 right here in the middle of the race as well. Just DNF, send him to D1, and then he can come back. Next, he'll start from lap 10 in the tomorrow's D1 race.
right. So the pack has bunched up, and I think one more lap, and we should go racing again. I think the mediums will now comfortably make it to the end of the race, considering we had a couple of laps under the safety car, and who knows, Abu Dhabi, we might get another one. It will be interesting to see when SSN pits and how quickly he can make his way, because he has two very fast drivers in Sid Venkatesh and Shaurya before he can think about, or he can see the rear wing of his rival.
Another thing I'd like to mention here is that as the laps tick on, the drivers don't their internal body clock for IRL, because they would have built one by now. It's almost the last race of the season. Doesn't expect to be driving at this time. So can they keep their focus? I assume there might be a few mistakes creeping in as the laps go by, especially as the race ticks on.
Yeah, that could be a factor as well. So it will be also a battle of the nerves, if you will, and also the small errors you can make throughout a lap, which could make you bleed lap time, especially for someone like SSN who needs to be absolutely on point here. And I'm very sure while he is thinking of the championship, he is also thinking of a podium or maybe a race win here. Who knows? So
you know what I'm waiting for, when SSN catches up to Shah with the fresher tire.
Yeah, that would be. Let's hope it doesn't turn out like
And
Hamilton Verstappen.
Brilliant.
Who has crashed? Oh, your game has crashed. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Codemasters.
So
once again.
I think I would have had to make my leave anyway soon, but I think that is the game sending me a sign. So I expect you to handle this solo show from now, Malav, and have your World Championship voice ready just in case. Meet the Dubai Sweltmeister.
Dubai Sweltmeister, but here we go. Safety car is in. So thank you, VFix. Before you go, thank you so much for having the patience to be with us here tonight. It has been a long wait before we could get racing. But yeah, thank you for your patience and good luck for your own championship fight tomorrow at the same track.
Goodbye, stream, and I hope I see you guys tomorrow here. Hopefully earlier than this time, because my God. But yeah, fine.
It has been late, hasn't it? But here we go. Thank you, VFX. We will see Gagan Singh and Suraj, the two Williams, leading the safety car restart. Let's see what they do. We'll go on board with Shah and see what has happened. I think Suraj and Gagan are already through, but further behind. Let's see what Shah does. SSN and Sid Venkatesh. SSN already making a move. That is very quick for the soft tire runner. He is already in position. Someone has knocked up. Someone has knocked that braking board over, and now you can see. Oh, SSN! Oh my God! What just happened there? There's a car which is round. That's Suraj. The Suraj is around. Something has happened which we have missed, and Shah now on the back of Ace here. Let's see if Shah goes for the move. No DRS right now. Shah is completely committed to it. He's going to dive down the inside on his fresh tires. He almost makes it through. Just behind him, Tanay Singh. Sid Venkatesh, Tanay Singh is losing a lot of positions. Here goes Shah once again. The Shah again using a lot of battery, but I don't think he has enough overspeed to go for any kind of a maneuver on Ace, who is a little bit being held up by teams who's running P2 right now. Gagan Singh has gained a lot of time over everyone else because of the spin by Suraj. And let's see SSN on the back of Shaurya. Now this is going to be interesting because Shaurya has shown tremendous pace up until this point, but now he is ahead of a driver who is on the softs. Sid Venkatesh gaining a position, or rather losing a position on easy level bot. But let's go to this fight once again. You can see the P2 to P5 on one camera angle. Gagan Singh has got a lead of almost 3 seconds there. Let's see if anyone goes for a move. I think that's Shah going on a move on. Shah almost made a move, and he has on Ace, so that's him up a place. And further behind, Teves is now under pressure from. Oh, Saurabh, that's SSN going for a move. Does he make it stick? I think he has. That is a brilliant move, but here comes Shaurya back. This is not over yet, and well, that is still P5 for Shaurya. But let's see if SSN has any kind of pace. But up ahead, Shah is making a move on Teves. Teves might not fight him very much. Shah goes down the inside. Teves is going to fight it very much. Let's hope they don't come together. Teves is spinning a little bit, but Shah has made his way through. And here goes SSN on Shaurya now. SSN can clearly see how fast he is because of the tire advantage and general pace. But he's going to be behind for one more time. He goes down the outside, and what a move this is. very very confident under braking SSN, and that's the McLaren into P5. He has a couple of more cars. As he is he going to go around the outside here? I think he just might, and let's hope they don't collide. They don't, but SSN does lose some ground. Oh, he's round. Oh, he is round. He was battling Ace, and SSN is round, the championship leader, down in P13. And now he has his work cut off. DRS has been enabled. I don't think there is any contact for the McLaren. So, oh no 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 no! And he has DNF'd. Oh my God! Did I just see? Safety car. And our championship leader was leading by 27 points coming into this race. He has retired from this session after a contact with the Alfa Romeo of Ace. And Shah, wow, what does he do now? I don't think he needs to pit at all. He can just safely go until the end of the race. Gagan Singh, it will be interesting to see what he does, because if he puts on a set of soft tires, I don't think they will last until the end of the race. Teves is yet to pit. Ace has pitted, but he might want to pit once again. Wow, but this has completely changed things. Shaurya is still in the hunt, mind you, because P1, P3, P4 will pit. But what luck has Shah has got tonight. He has done everything right, putting the car on pole and keeping it in P1 until the safety car where others did not pit. And now his championship rival has crashed out. Shah can score here a maximum of 25 points, make that 26 if he gets the fastest lap as well. And if he does score those 26 points, he will be just one single point behind SSN going into the last race. Absolute scenes here. Gagan Singh, is he coming into the pits? Yes, he is. Shah, we are expecting him to stay out. He does. Teves might come into the pits as well. He stays out. Wow, that's brave from Teves. What does Ace do? Ace is in. Oh, Shaurya is in. Shaurya is in. Wow. What is he up to now? You can see the Ferrari crew out. Does he have wing damage? No, I don't think there's a wing change. He's going another set of mediums. So that will comfortably make him, well, that's P9 for Shaurya. I don't think he'll be overtaken by the McLaren, which is heading down the straight. Let's see where Swagboy is. This is going to be crucial, but I think Shaurya will just come out ahead. So that's Shaurya in P9. And as things stand, this is looking good. This is looking good indeed for the Alpine driver of Shah. And well, we have 13 laps to go after this one. Safety car will be around for at least a few more laps, but this has gotten really interesting very, very soon. Well, so 11 people watching right now, let me know in the comment section, what do you think is going to happen? Who do you think is going to be in the top 3, and what do you think will be the points gap at the end of the race between our drivers who are fighting for the championship, drivers championship at least. Constructors championship is also on the cards, so we will keep an eye out on that as well. Maybe in the last race. It might not be decided tonight, and I have simply too much going on to make any kind of calculations right now. So safety car is still out. Tanay Singh is the driver who is detached from the pack. I'm not sure if there was a message of safety car coming in, and you can see Shah, who's the leader, is sticking to the safety car, so it is going to stay out for at least one more lap. And wow, this is really interesting. Tanay Singh will probably catch up to the pack, so he will. Oh, Gagan Singh gets a 5-second time penalty for collision with Shaurya. Now Does Shaurya have any wing damage? It's not apparent, at least from this angle. He seems to have his wing and end plates intact. And yes, Mayank, we will keep an eye out on Ace, who is driving really well in P3, has decided not to pit under the safety car, so maybe he is looking at another safety car. Maybe he's hoping there's another one and he can go on those fresh soft tires. It will be interesting to see. Once we get rid of this helicopter shot, we'll get to know, but I don't think there is any damage. Oh, he almost runs into the back of Gagan again. He has to be mindful of his front wing, Shaurya. He still, I think he still has pace to mount a challenge for the race win here tonight. But if he gets the wing damage right now, that will be severely compromised. So you can see the pack, including Tanay Singh, is now on the same straight, and which all but signifies that we should be going racing pretty soon. Teeves Cal, meanwhile, what a driver. He has turned up finally on the second last race of the season and sitting pretty in P2 with his teammate Sid Venkatesh in P5. So it's a good day for the Aston Martins, and let's see what kind of results they have. Ziak is in P6 on soft tires. Now those soft tires should not last very long, so I wonder if he missed a trick by pitting under the safety car, because they will definitely not make it to the end of the race. But he has decided to stick it out, maybe put on another set of softs at the end, not sure. But the safety car is in, so we will see the third safety car restart, if I'm not wrong, of this race. And it should be an interesting one. Shah will be leading it for the first time, or rather second time. I think the previous time also it was him who was leading. So, well, let's go and see the safety car restart. Shah has given it ample time before we go racing again, and let's go onward for easy level bot. Bullister and 7B or Suraj are battling, and here we go. Shah has gone, Teeves has gone as well. Let's see what happens behind. It will be interesting to see what Shaurya does. Shaurya is on the back of Gagan Singh. Does he go for a move down the inside? The Ferrari driver, no, he does not. He stays behind. Up ahead, Ace is on a charge here. He is on the back. Oh, Bullister gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Sid Venkatesh and Ziak are fighting, I think. But here is Ace now. Oh, it's almost a dive bomb by easy level bot, but did not really hamper anyone. Let's see what happens. Shaurya has gotten past Gagan Singh. He's now on the back of Manan, and Shaurya, is he close enough? I don't think he is on this lap, unless he goes for a complete dive bomb down the inside. He thinks about it, but here goes Gagan Singh. Gagan Singh round the outside. He might just take that position. I think he has. And then Swag Boy is behind. Ace and Teeves are battling, and Ace has just taken P2 from the Aston Martin driver. Teeves trying to down the inside. It's so close from the wing cam, or the nose cam as we call it. And that is Teeves into P3. Ace up a position. Sid Venkatesh retains P5. And well, that was very, very hectic as for a safety car restart. Shah has a very good lead of 3.8 seconds up top, and Teeves under more pressure from easy level bot. Well, let's see what happens. Teeves under more pressure from the Mercedes of easy level bot, who is rather one of the people who is fighting for a championship, not for the drivers one, but the constructors. Watching behind him, because Sid Venkatesh was very, very close, and this three-way fight for P3 is very, very tasty indeed. Shah pulling for the gap. 4.7 seconds is the gap for him. And what happens to Shaurya? Does he go down the inside of Manan? He tries to, but does not make it work. But he might make it work at the hairpin. We don't get a better angle, but Shaurya and Manan, easy level bot and Sid Venkatesh are fighting, but Shaurya is through. Does he get any more places, or does Manan lose a place to Gagan Singh. That will be interesting. Gagan Singh might just go for a double move here. He goes down the inside. Gagan Singh. Oh, it's Manan actually. It's Manan who tried to fight it and try to take the place back from Shaurya, but that is him down the place, and he'll lose to Gagan Singh as well. Here goes T-Scal and easy level bot. Oh, Sid Venkatesh to get out of that one, and easy level bot. His tires are so. Oh no! They touch. Sid Venkatesh. Well, that was not the best place to overtake, and Sid Venkatesh has lost so much time and is given so many positions. More importantly to Shaurya and Ziak, who are also fighting. Oh, Zia. Oh no. What is happening here? It could be another safety car there. And it is. It is another safety car, and Shaurya, he is without a front wing. What is this race? They're still battling. Gagan Singh and Shaurya are still battling. And there's an overtake in the pit lane under the safety car. So, and Shaurya is retired. He is done. He's done with this race. He has retired, and Manan is in the pits. Maybe for a set of soft tires. I'm not sure if he has any damage here. Or does he? Yeah, there is damage on the Alpine. He's going on the mediums, not softs. So maybe doesn't have a fresh pair of softs. He's on the mediums. And the advantage which Shah has, 8.9 seconds. That is going to reduce drastically. Ace and T-Scal had to stay out. I think they were past the entry into the pits, which is why they had to stay out. And well, let's see when they pit, because they will have to pit under this safety car. There might not be any more safety cars, and because of that they will lose positions, but it gives way to the likes of Buliester and Vintage Player and Tanay Singh to have a shot at our race leader Shah. The Ferrari curse. Yes, Ajitesh, you are right. You did not race, and the man who raced in your place is not having the best of the races right now, but your teammate Tanay Singh is in a very good position. If I'm not wrong, Shah pits. Shah has a good advantage here, and I think he's going on the softs if I'm not wrong. Ace is in, Teves is in as well, easy level bot is in, Bulister stays out, Vintage Play stays out, Tanay Singh stays out. Now Shah should come out behind Tanay Singh now. Where is Shah right now? He's exiting the pits. Yeah, he does come out behind Tanay Singh. And all he has to do, mind you, is just, even if these people do pull out some kind of a gap, remember Bulister has a 5-second time penalty. So does Vintage Player. I'm assuming that is for collision under safety car. Tanay Singh has an 8 seconds, which is a 5 plus 3, so that 3 seconds might not be removed. And Shah has put himself on the best tires right now, so he has given up track position because his tires were a little bit older than the people behind him. But is that a wise call or not? I'm not sure. Ace and T-Scal out in P5 and P6. Very promising positions for both of them, despite not being able to pit exactly when the safety car came out. Sid Venkatesh is in P8. Following easy level bot was a time penalty. Swagboy is still in this. Remember, he had a poor start to the race, but he has clawed his way back. He's in P9 in the points. Manan in the pits once again, and that is because he wanted to go on the softs. Suraj and Gagan, the Williams driver who were once leading a safety car restart, are now in P10 and P11. And Manan is in P12. So everyone who finishes right now will get points from this race, and we have only 3 out of 12 drivers on the medium, so they will be surely questioning their strategy, because if they see everyone else on the softs behind, they might be a little bit worried if they are going to be at a disadvantage. But in my experience, the short the soft tires rather, do lose a lot of advantage or a lot of lap time after 4 5 laps. So maybe the mediums will come into play, and more importantly for Shah, he has not one, not two, but three medium runners ahead of him. So ideally he would like to get past all of them, but all of them being very fast drivers and not going to give an of an inch. But here goes Tanay Singh. Oh, I thought he was coming into the pits for a moment. But yeah, so no free positions for Shah right now at least, and will the safety car will wait for Manan to catch up, which I think he will by they reach sector 3, and after that we can go racing again for the final 7 laps of this very exhausting Grand Prix on the Friday night. So stay tuned. We have a good short run to the finish line before we see the checkered flag, and let's hope there are no more safety cars, because let's face it, not just me but I'm sure the drivers are a bit exhausted, a bit fed up right now about how today has gone by, and let's hope they can rest after this one. I'm sure some people have races after this one as well in other leagues, so it will be interesting to see how they perform there if they decide to race there. But this is really interesting. Manan has caught up. You can see Manan has caught up, and he will be, or rather we will be going green flag pretty soon. Noah, you're right. Whenever you tune in, there's a safety car. But my question is, why are you tuning out in the first place? It is such an interesting race. I know it has been riddled and interrupted by safety cars, but it has been a very interesting race so far. So stay tuned for the final 7 laps. You have got the message from race control. The safety car is in this lap. Hopefully no more safety cars, and we shall see. Otiv Scal gets a 5-second time penalty with Ace, who also gets a time penalty. So that is something for stewards to look at. Very interesting. Oh, so league party chat is a pandemonium apparently, but Bullista is leading the safety car restart, and let's see, he has dropped off a little bit. Shah doing very well to keep good gap to Tanay behind. He does not want any damage to the carbon fiber of his front wing, and he must have heated up his tires as well. Let's see what Bullista does. Bullista is still weaving, but I think he has gone now. There you go, you can see the Alfa Romeo of Bullista going. What does Shah do? He is on the charge. Is he going to go for a move? I don't think that's wise, and he stays out of it. Oh, that was probably a corner cut from Shah, so he has to be careful there. And Easy Level Bot has taken Teevscal. Teevscal losing more positions to his teammate as well, and Swagboy might get Teevscal as well if he goes down the inside. The Swagboy, yes he does, and Teevscal losing another position to Suraj. So that is what, 5 positions down in a space of one, gonna make that 6 as Suraj tries to make his way through. Oh, but here comes Shah now round the outside. It's very close. Let's hope they don't come together. Shah has better tires, and he might just make this work, as oh, it's so close once again. And Shah will have now the inside line for the next corner. Up ahead, Vintage and Bullis are also going side by side. I think that's Vintage winning out in that battle, and Shah has finally, or has he? Oh, he's almost round there, but Shah is through. Shah is through in P3, and that is very important for his championship. Vintage player has taken the lead of the race from Bullista, so that has happened while we were waiting for all this. But this move on Tanay Singh was so crucial for Shah, and now he can see the 2 lead cars battling. I'm screaming at the top of my voice at 11:45 in the night, but it's all worth it. What a show these guys are putting on. And let's see what happens. Does Tanay Singh has damage here? I'm not sure, because he's been caught up by Ace now, and this is the advantage which the soft runners have over medium runners. So that will be interesting to see. What does Manan do meanwhile? Manan is on the back of Teevscal, so Teams will lose probably one more position. Oh, that was too close for comfort for that one. Sid Venkatesh. Oh, who was that? That was Swag Boy. Completely straight line in the chicane. He probably took the new layout there. He's got a type in the process and has made contact with Gagan Singh. What does Shah do? Shah on the back of Bullester does not wait around, does he? Shah, he will go down the inside maybe. Let's see what happens here. Bullester will not. Oh, that was so close. Once again, Shah flirting with danger there. And he's going for it once again. Look at him using his battery, deploying his battery. DRS has not been enabled. And just like with Tanay Singh, Shah has probably made the move. We can't see it right now. But oh, Bullester comes out on top of that one. So it's still not over there. It's still not over. Shah once again. Let's hope he's patient here because there is no overtaking in the third sector here. He has to be patient. The time will come to him and the move will come to him, but he has to be patient and recharge his batteries, let his tires cool down a little bit. Well, it's easier said than done on this track in this sector, but he has a clear pace advantage right now. And Vintage Player, as he streaks away in the distance, has set the fastest lap of the race. Shah is now under attack from Tanay as well, so Shah has to make this one stick. I think DRS has been enabled if I'm not wrong on this lap. Oh, Tanay Singh goes so wide there and he loses multiple positions. He might lose another one to easy level bot, and that's tire banking for sure. Let's see what Shah does. Oh, he is getting impatient, isn't he? Unsaddled helmet, it is so frustrating, but here we go. What a brilliant run he has had, and he has DRS now. This should be straightforward. He is not waiting for the next DRS zone, so he wants to make this move stick and does not wait. Bullester tries to hang it around the outside, but Shah makes the move. He has to get really superior traction, which he will theoretically after this try, and that is this move done. Then I sing Swag Boy. Oh, no. What is that fighting there? That's so much tire banking. I think I definitely saw some wing or carbon fiber floating around. 4 cars into one corner there almost. The Ferrari and the McLaren are still fighting it out. The McLaren of Swag Boy coming out on top, but they are still fighting, and Tanay still losing more positions as Sid Venkatesh makes his way through. Oh my god, I need a breather here, guys. Oh, and that's, I think Tanay Singh has damage here as Gagan Singh makes his way through. Yeah, Tanay is losing a end plate there on the left hand side, so he will have to probably make his way into the pits. But Ace has now moved up and closed up to Bullester, so it's a battle of the teammates there, because there you go, they are exchanging positions. I don't think this seems like team order, but Ace just got brilliant traction out of the corner, almost overtook Bullester there, but not on this occasion. So let's go on board with Ace here and see what happens. As further behind, Suraj and Easy Level Bot are also battling, but this battle is going to be very important here. It is Ace who was almost on the back of Bullester, but now he's being caught up. What happens further behind? Suraj. Oh, that's Manan. That is Manan who has... Oh, Shah's overtaken. Oh my god, how did he overtake Vintage? Did he make a mistake? I think he did, because he was 1 second behind on the straight itself, but now Shah is in the lead, so he is exactly where he needs to. Oh, that's Swag Boy. Oh, Swag Boy. He has lost his wing, has kept his wheel intact, but that is not great news. And what happens to... Oh, there's a virtual safety car now. Swag Boy has been disqualified from this session, and that is what the game does sometimes. Manan is still in P9. I thought he would have probably made a move on one of these two cars, which is Easy Level and Suraj, but oh my god, what a race this is. It's a virtual safety car, and but I don't think anyone's going to pit now. Tanay Singh is also going on, so Tanay Singh, despite his... I think Tanay Singh might have pit here because he is 23 seconds behind. DRS has been enabled. Vintage is very close to Shah, but I don't think nothing is going to happen here. But here is Manan on the move here. Manan might still make this work. 3 laps to go, including this one. And what a second last race we have had so far. Easy level bot going wide through that corner. I'm not sure if the game gives penalties there, because sometimes it does, sometimes it might not. And riding on board with Manan, this is the closest battle we have. Shah at the top is increasing his gap to vintage player. Easy level bot goes very wide, and that invites Manan into the fray. Manan will have DRS going down this long back straight. Now, does he have enough battery to make the move stick? I think he does. And easy level bot is pretty much a sitting duck here. Will go on board with vintage player and Shah, but yeah, Manan makes this move stick. That is him into P8, and he still has time to catch up to Suraj. What does vintage player do now? Vintage player down the inside of Shah. Please don't come together. Vintage player almost tries to make it stick, but does not. Let's see penalties. He has a 5-second, which in a worst case scenario for Shah will be removed. Oh, easy level bot and Manan coming together there. And that's easy level bot losing a lot of time there, but still rejoins the track safely. No harm done, at least visibly. And this is the battle, guys. Vintage player looks very quick. He's just about within DRS of Shah. 2 laps to go. Shah has just about broken that DRS now, but those soft tires are slowly but surely losing advantage now. So Shah has to be very careful here. Sid Venkatesh gets a 3-second time penalty, which will help Gagan Singh, because Gagan will gain a position on him. And wow, at least we are on lap 27, so 2 laps to go, and I don't think we'll see any safety cars, so that is a respite. So Noah West, you can now continue watching, because there will be no safety cars. Vintage player has lost 5 tenths since we last saw the gap, so that is what probably Shah made a very good sector 1. Tanay Singh gets the fastest lap of the race. It's the battle of the Williams, who were once leading the race. Suraj on the back of Gagan Singh. This should be easy, and let's hope they don't fight too much, because really there's no need for fighting at this point in the race. When but let's see what Gagan Singh does. So Gagan Singh does fight it, and he keeps ahead, and that is very good, because both of them are fighting in their bleeding time to Sid Venkatesh. So as a team, they are losing time. Let's see if Suraj goes for another move. He goes past Gagan easily, but does Gagan stay back? Yes, he does. So that's Suraj into P6. Oh, he almost ran into the back of Suraj, did he? But Gagan is into P7 now. Suraj has to close up 3 more tenths, or rather 5 more tenths, if he needs to, because Sid Venkatesh has a 3-second time penalty, if I'm not wrong. Let's have a look at penalties. Yeah, 3 seconds for Sid Venkatesh, so that will be important. Does Ace make a play here for P2 is my question. Oh, vintage player gets another 3-second time penalty, so Ace is on P2 already, and that is very good news for the Alfa Romeo. But our race leader, what happens to Gagan Singh and Manan? I think that's probably the only battle we have right now, as Shah is streaking away. 2.5 seconds is his gap, and he is almost half a lap away from taking his 3rd victory of the season. A very crucial victory in the race. Oh, Manan, don't go for a move there. Manan gets a 3-second time penalty in the process, and that is exactly what he did not need. That has more or less settled that battle. So let's turn our attention to Shah. People wrote him off. People thought it was done and dusted. People thought he would have to settle for P2 in the championship, but he kept going on and on. And Shah 2224, 1 sector to go, is going to be within just 2 points of his championship rival. The gap was 27 points when we started this race about 1000 hours ago, but now with at least, I think, yeah, 25 points for the win, so 2 points will be the gap when he ends this race. He has a couple of corners to round out, But what a drive it has been, what a race it has been, and what a brilliant show of resistance and resilience it has been. It's Shah 224 who wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Vintage player will cross the line in P2 but will lose the position to Ace in P2. So Vintage player is on the podium. Bulyester finishes P4. Sid Venkatesh will finish ahead of him because of time penalties. Suraj finished ahead of Sid Venkatesh. Wow, so Suraj did catch up. That's P4 for Suraj. Manan in P7, so that is a decent result for Alpine. Gagan is yet to cross, or Gagan has crossed the finish line in P8. Easy level bot in the Mercedes P9. Teves Cal also gets points in P10. And Tana is saying, while he does have the fastest lap, but that is a hell of a race. 11 race finishers. Championship hanging in the balance as we go to Imola next week. And driver of the day has been given to Bulyester according to the game. We will have a poll on Twitter to find out what our other fellow racers think. But that has been the race. You can see Shah on the podium along with Ace and Vintage player. And that has been the race, guys. Stay tuned with us because we will quickly have a word with each of them. While in normal circumstances we wouldn't have, but now that we have to talk about this, it was a crazy 2 hours since we first attempted to go live. So stay tuned. We will call our podium finishers, as you can see on the screen, to the party chat and have a quick word with them before we say goodnight. Hey, yes, how are you doing? Can you please do me a favor and invite Vintage player to the party?
I don't know whether I have him in my list
Yeah,
actually.
you can just type in his PSN. It would allow you to invite him. It's Vintage PLAYA. That's his PSN. While I set up the showroom, and at the same time, please ensure that we can hear you on the stream. So just
Vintage it's PLAYA, right?
yeah, PLAYA. That's right. Right, and just ensure that your audio sharing settings are on so we can hear you on the stream.
Okay. Oh man, is this that? I mean, there are a lot of vintage players. I don't know whom I added.
All right, let me add him. No problem. All right, I have added Vintage player, so let's hope he joins soon. But yeah, Ace, are you sorted with your party audio settings?
Let me just see. Let's see.
Yeah, Vintage is here actually, so we'll start with Vintage then first,
Okay.
and Shai is here as well. So Vintage, quickly, we'll start with you. Uh, just ensure that your party audio sharing settings are on so we can hear you on the stream. But yeah, Vintage, take us through your race. It was a very hectic and exhausting race, I'm sure. But just take us through your race, multiple safety car restarts and battles all around. What went on?
Actually, first of all, congratulations to Shah for an amazing comeback and Ace well driven. Actually, I had a very bad qualifying. I couldn't get a lap together, even though I had pace for P6, P7 at least. And in the race, I did nothing actually. I just continued driving. Everyone else kept crashing, and that massive crash in between the race just screwed up everyone's race there. And yeah, somehow got there.
Right. Talk us through a battle as well, which you we saw that. Did you make a mistake out of the hairpin or something? Because Shah was like 1 second behind you, and then suddenly he overtook you on the back straight. So, what happened there? In I think a few laps before
Actually,
the
it was
checkered
two
flag.
things. One, it was tactical also, and one, I knew that Shah was fighting for the championship. So
Mm-hmm.
I slowed down on the exit and let him pass, thinking that maybe if I get a better pass with under DRS on the next straight, I can make a cleaner move. But couldn't happen, and I tried to make all the clean moves possible after that, but then he was too fast.
Yeah, we were seeing you. You caught up by some. You were in his DRS also for some time,
Yeah.
but then in just a couple of sectors, you kind of dropped out of that window. But nevertheless, that was a very impressive drive from you, vintage player. Congratulations once again. We don't have a lot of time, so we'll quickly move on to Ace. Ace, how are you doing? And just explain your decision to stay out in the first safety car as well, because I think you, Teves, and a couple of other drivers did stay out, and luck did favor you because there was another safety car. Just talk us through your race and the moves you made as well. I think we did see a couple of overtakes from you on drivers around.
Yes, first of all, congratulations to Shah and Vintage Player. I mean, actually, first the massive relief to complete a race. I mean, I have been having network issues for the whole of the season.
Oh yes,
So
yes.
I was actually praying it should not, I mean, session, usually my error comes from session no longer exists. So first of all, thanks for the internet connection also to be holding for the whole race. I mean, actually, regarding the safety car, I was quite sure there would be going to be a number of safety cars in Abu Dhabi. A lot of hairpins where people can run over the curbs, hairpins. It can happen. So I thought I will just see 2-3 more laps. If possible, I'll try to pit. Otherwise, I will go till the whole with the mediums. So actually, that luck favored me. I got pitted at the correct point. That's it.
Right. So if there was no safety cars, very confident that those mediums will make it to the end.
Yes, I was. I mean, my tire was not that much. I was kind of lifting off also in the corners, trying to preserve it a bit. But I thought it might go to the end. I mean, couple of it worked actually. I mean, I thought it can. I mean, we never know, right? Unless you have tried it.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, very well driven. Yes, I
And
think you kept.
one more thing.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
really glad to share this with Shah, this podium.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, once again, congratulations, Ace. I'm not sure if this is your first podium. I don't think it is of the season. But
No, this is my third, I guess.
oh, your third. That's great. So very good performance towards the end of the season, and hope we see you on the podium more often. Okay, let's move on to our race winner and someone who has ignited the championship as we go into the last round is Shah 224, our race winner. Shah, are you sleepy or you are full of adrenaline?
I am fully awake. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I hope we can. Someone on the stream can confirm.
I am fully awake. I have another league race to go. But getting back to this one, it was a good quali. We were Alpine 1 and 2, so we were quite happy with those results. And then in the race, I just had to keep my head down and just drive right. And I was just wishing that SSN at least finishes outside P6, not in the top six, so that the championship goes to the next race. But unfortunately, he I think DNF for some reason. And then there was a safety car, and then I was in this dilemma: should I pit or not? Because I was on 20 lap. I mean, my medium tires were just 20% worn, and I had pace. I had pulled out like 4 seconds from the guys behind me, but I was still doubtful should I pit or not. And then I made the decision that just might as well fuck it, pit it. So that I just be safe if anybody is on those fast softs. And then I came out behind Tane Singh, Vintage Play, and Polyester. So
Yeah.
and there were like 6 laps left, and I had to make the moves. So, I was on that man on a mission. I kept making those moves, and thanks to Ace and Vintage Player for keeping it clean, and it was fair racing from both these guys. So I really enjoyed, and in this race I really had to fight for the win and make those overtakes work. It wasn't easy. Vintage Player did let me through on that straight, but to get that DRS advantage. But then he was always on my back. He was always 4, 5 tenths behind me, so I was always worried that this guy would catch up any time. And I think later it's just those softs that came handy, and I kept pulling away from him. So quite happy, and congratulations to Vintage and Ace. And also happy to share another podium with Ace. Quite happy with that.
No, absolutely. I was on board with you on a couple of those overtakes, and it looked so close in between front wings and tires and all. I was just hoping that no one spins, and thankfully, none of you did. So yeah, those were some pretty impressive overtakes you pulled, Shah, especially in the later half of the race. But yeah, very very strong performance, pole and a race win. Tanay Singh has the fastest lap, but you still are in the championship, very much so, with just 2 points the gap between you and SSN. How are you
How many
feeling for
points is it?
Imola? I think it
How
should be two by my calculations. So
No,
it's
no, I think it should be 8 points. Yeah, because he was 33 points, 37 points
oh, it's
ahead.
about 37. All the time I was
Yeah,
thinking
so
it was
it's 12
27.
points. No, it's 12
Okay,
points.
all the time I
So,
was thinking it was 27. So it will be more than my bad. So it will be around 12 points. But how are you feeling around Imola? How does the track? How do you like the track?
I like the track. I haven't done a league race yet. So I'm going to do a league race now. So I'm going to know how it works out. But the track is quite tricky. Overtaking is quite difficult, and turn one, as usual in any track, is it can go just haywire. And the chicane we keep talking about. You got to brake enough to stop the car. Yes.
Absolutely. But yeah, very well driven, Shah. I won't keep you for long. I know you have another league race, and you need to probably have a 5 minute breather before you can jump into that one. But congratulations once again. Congratulations to the other two podium sitters as well, Ace and Vintage Player. We will see you tomorrow. For everyone who's still around, thank you for being so patient. It has been well over 2 hours since we started this session, but finally we have reached the end of it. So thank you for sticking around. This is You Can Beat Me. Thank you for Racing Gupta and VFix helping us out with the comms box. We will see you tomorrow for the Division 1 race at 9:45 p.m. in the evening, and obviously enjoy your qualifying before that in the real life Abu Dhabi season finale. This is You Can Beat Me signing off. Unless there are no more shout outs, we can end the stream.
Shout out to my race engineers. There were a lot of race engineers. To them.
Multiple
Thank
race
you so
engineers.
much.
Okay,
Yes.
that's great to hear. But yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. Have a good night and take care.